well, close enough.
Ooh,
Okay.
who is that? Is that Nancy? There's that big question, like, who is that?
I know.
Yes. And I was like quizzing you, Robert. Well, the second time we went in for Curse of Blackmoor Manor, I'm like, so who is it? Come on, tell me. And you're like, it could be Bridget. It could be Eleanor.
It could be Nancy,
Well,
but we don't want to show Nancy.
I was always under the impression that it was Linda.
Ooh, could have been Linda.
But again, I don't know how
it could be
accurate that is.
Penelope from the 16th century too.
It could be. Oh, absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna start here.
Welcome to my latest case, the Curse of Blackmoor Manor. To
Ooh, look at
start,
that
choose junior
cell
or senior
phone.
detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, choose gameplay overview.
Well,
So we were good. We played with the idea of having like really scary or not so scary.
hold on one
instead
second.
of,
Hold on
like,
one second.
junior-
Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I just realized I didn't have. I've been screen sharing my entire desktop right now, or recording my entire desktop, not the game. Okay, we're good. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we played with the idea instead of having like junior and senior detective, having like maximum scary or just kind of like not so scary, because again there was a concern about like, is this going to be too creepy and stuff like that. And it was weird because there was camps that were like, I want really scary, and people are like, I don't want that. That's too freaky for me. So, but we just kept senior and junior because we knew how to do it.
Right on. Do you guys want to play on senior or on junior? Or what are you thinking?
Do junior.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
It'll go faster.
You'll be in some of the puzzles forever if you're.
No, that's totally fair.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Here comes the grand opening.
Oh my gosh.
I love this.
Dear Ned, greetings from jolly
Her
old
first
England.
international
Although right now I'm
adventure.
not so sure about the jolly part.
Super exciting.
Because I'm on my way to Blackmoor Manor.
There's a lot of
where the
concern
daughter
about
of one
going
of our neighbors is
international.
living.
Like
The daughter,
I
whose
think I don't
name
know
is
if in the
Linda,
wiki.
recently
Oh, there's
married
Art
Hugh
Huber.
Pendleton,
That's
a
Megan's
British
husband.
diplomat.
Is that really?
Hugh
So the
Pendleton.
only
Yeah, that's
people at
Art.
the manor with Linda
Oh.
are Hugh's aunt, Mrs. Drake, and
Right
Hugh's
on.
12-year-old daughter, Jane. The thing
It's
is,
like
ever
we're so
since
good
they
at
moved
like
into the
interposing
manor,
people's
her health
faces
has
on
gone
other people's
downhill.
faces. So
She's
it's like
practically
weird kind of
bedridden,
like
and no one seems to know why.
serial
Her
killer.
mother is
You guys were
convinced
masters
something is
on it.
terribly wrong and wants me to find out what. So here I am,
Jane,
about to
she
be
looks so
dropped off
innocent.
at a huge centuries-old mansion in the middle
I love
of
this
a
because this is the
dark,
only time
foggy
you see it
moor.
during the day.
I can't tell whether the butterflies in my stomach are because
Oh,
I'm
you can hear
excited or
the
just a
the
tad
car,
creeped
Mhm.
out.
taxi.
Talk to you soon. I hope. Nancy.
Oh,
Night, miss. Good luck.
So, Robert, can you give us a little behind the scenes on the intro to this game and what it's based off of?
you mean the?
Based off the movie,
Like-
the Die Monster Die movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of this was actually inspired by the 1965 film Die Monster Die, starring Nick Adams and Boris Karloff, which is basically loose on a H.P. Lovecraft movie. So there's a lot of elements that are in here. So like, kind of this, creepy
there?
place and
Hello?
not a very welcoming start of your adventure here in England.
There you go.
I think Nancy probably did those sound effects.
Yeah, I think
Lonnie
that was
did.
Lonnie.
There's
Yeah.
something out there!
Where,
And
child?
everything. Oh,
Where, child?
Over there! I mean, something was out there.
Come in.
there's
I'm Mrs. Drake. I take it you are Nancy Drew?
Oh, look how
Yes, and I
slow
really
she's
did
singing,
see
though.
something, Mrs. Drake. I heard something too.
Oh, people are always seeing and hearing things on the moor at night, especially you Americans. Why don't you just go on up to your room?
It's true.
It's the one with the moon on the door.
Werewolf.
I'd
in
like to
London.
see Linda, if I could.
Werewolves of
Afraid
London.
Linda
Yeah.
is, not quite ready to meet with you just now. But please, come see me after you've unpacked. I'll be in the conservatory.
All right, thank you.
Conservatory.
So I have a story based on this.
Go right ahead.
Before this game, during the making of Shadow Ranch, I think Robert quizzed us, not quizzed, but asked all the advisory panelists during a sit down in
Wonder what
the
goes
conference room.
there.
And he asked us this scenario, if a woman is hiding behind a curtain, what would be the reason? And he asked
Interesting.
us to brainstorm things. Just, I think it was mostly to figure out how we thought
Right,
from
right.
our age and our perspective. Like, I think my sisters and I had like the worst ideas ever. It's like, oh, her husband's beating her and she looks
Ooh.
atrocious and doesn't want to hide it. And it's like, I'm glad you didn't go with those ideas, Robert. I'm glad you did, because I like this version better.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, one of the questions that I also had, I probably should actually have those open while
Is it chiming?
as we're going here.
Big clock.
Yeah, one of the questions was actually focused on Hugh and where he is and why he's not here.
Says it.
And, oh, I gotta actually find it here. Was Hugh really meeting up with, this is from By the Brook, was Hugh really meeting up with his ex-wife, Jane's mom, when they both happened to be in Rome at the same time? Or do you actually, it cuts off here. As well as what made them decide to have their first international, oh, that's a different question. I'm so sorry. I'm doing really good at this game, Yeah,
I'm guessing he was supposed to be just on a work trip.
right.
And yeah, I have in my notes that like the mom is an opera singer,
Mhm.
and so she's on tour. But it was supposed to like create, a level of suspicion. Like, could Hugh be involved in some sort of way?
Right,
Um,
right.
Because everyone had to have some element of suspicion on them to keep people on their toes.
Yeah. I wanted to say too, it's funny, after you had mentioned that this was based off of Die Monster Die. Oh, hold on.
Yes, I'm afraid
Oh.
you do.
If I do well, can we play a game?
Yes, but only in French.
Oh.
Oh.
I love the eavesdropping. Like it's so.
It's great, I know. Yeah, I went and watched Die Monster Die earlier this year
I'm
for the
sorry.
first time.
Sorry
And
about that.
I actually really enjoyed it, only because I felt this kind of sense of charm that it had, and yeah, it was quirky. It was very quirky, but I was just seeing references to this game, or to the movie in the game, left and right. I was like, oh yeah, the mother behind the curtain, and
Yep.
this weird thing out in the gardens, and all that
Corbin.
good stuff. Yeah.
The meteorite.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. All that good stuff, yeah. So we'll solve this puzzle a bit later.
We'd always get, I remember like in conferences for like kids game, we'd always get dinged for like, how come you're like showing these puzzles you can't actually like solve yet? And I'm like, because that's like how like, it's realistic, right?
Well, exactly.
Like, things don't get like kind of paced out. It just kind of breeds curiosity.
Yeah, because I think you can solve this puzzle right away.
Okay.
And I think you can actually solve the puzzle box in Nancy's room right away as well. But just for the sake of the narrative in the game, we will save those for later. Speaking of narrative,
Get it. Stay in Italy as long as you
more
want then. Some kind
eavesdropping.
of husband you're proving to be.
Whoa.
It's not all in my head. Don't bother.
oh man, that is some kind of
Just
yeah,
drama.
seriously.
Megan's husband's just terrible to Linda. Sorry, Art.
Woo!
Oh, I know who that is. I know who it is.
Yes.
Oh, it's just a parrot.
Just a parrot.
Just a parrot?
Lonnie.
Polly want a
Oh,
cracker?
that's. So I remember calling Lonnie and asking like,
Okay,
"Hey
I
Lonnie,
get the
can you
point.
can you do
Lulu.
like a parrot voice?" And she's like, "What kind of parrot? Do you want Budgiger? Do you want Scarlet Macaw? Do you want African Gray?" And I kind of know my parrots. I'm
Yeah.
like, "I'll do Budgie," and she would sound like the parrot.
That's
It was just
amazing.
crazy.
Oh, I
don't
love
know
that.
what Lulu is. Is that like a Connor or?
Double-headed yellow Amazon.
Holy cow, coming out with the facts like instantly.
Woo!
That
Sorry.
was speedy.
These are dramaturge. for
Yeah.
tonight.
Oh.
Do you by any chance know Latin?
Queste rogavit, bene vidi vici, semper ubi sub ubi.
There you go.
morituri
Oops, yay.
I'll take that as a yes. Would you mind translating something for me?
Fire away.
Oh, that's funny.
Ruma?
Oh, that's so fun to have
the
the.
year
I didn't
is
even realize
solstice,
Lulu
the summer
translated
solstice.
for you.
The shortest
Such a
day
cool
in
device.
Roma.
It is.
Came up with that.
Oh yeah, well I think after
Equinoctium vernum is a spring equinox.